Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Heart of Christ Ministry. I am your host, Reverend Shaun Robert Grant, and it is Friday. In the last couple of days, pink has been the theme, and it's a theme because it is the color of the heart, it is the color of openness, it is the color of receptivity, it is the color of feeling unconditional love in every aspect. And I guess I just kind of made that up, but no, I think that's true in some form or fashion. But anyway, pink is where it's at. So I am Reverend Shaun Robert Grant. Welcome to the Heart of Christ Ministry. And today we have an amazing message for you. And we're just going to stick to what we've been doing over the last couple of days as far as financial peace and something I like to call financial emotional intelligence. Okay. Yesterday we had a webinar that was absolutely amazing. If you got, let's say, an hour, it's only 48 minutes, about an hour to hash out. It is so important and also entertaining to go and watch that, to really place yourself into a position mentally, spiritually, and emotionally to really set yourself up to develop a wealth consciousness and to create as much money as you need into your life. So if you hadn't watched that, go watch that. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook, on all of the pages. Also, if you hadn't yet, like the Heart of Christ Ministry page on Facebook. Got a lot of great stuff. Mostly anything I post on my personal page, I'll put on that page. And we also have great lessons, great messages, prayers, and stuff like that. So if you would like that page, that would be awesome. Okay. So line of business before we get rolling here. So if you have any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to let us know here over at Heart of Christ Ministry, by all means, write to us at ShaunG04@gmail.com. Also, if you have any prayer requests, if you need me to stand in agreement with anything from a divine standpoint with you, I'd be more than happy to do that. Just write to us and we will get to it, or I will get to it as soon as I can. All right. And to start it off, even before we get rolling, sow a seed into the ministry of Heart of Christ, right? We had a really great talk about what it means to give. We had, what it means to not be stuck in this rut of hindering your flow, right? And so one way to allow more money to come into your life is to give, and give from a place of love, right? And so it's important for each of us to know, if we feel that energy is being reciprocated, right, is being given to us, we have to return that energy to some degree. I'm not just saying it has to be here, but some degree. You've got to learn how to transmute that energy and give it back as you're getting, because then you come to find that you're always abundant, right? You're always flowing. You're always circulating in every area of life. So if this content has benefited you today or in the past, since we've begun, or even before that, by all means, sow a seed today. Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, ShaunG04@gmail.com. If you are a close friend and you have my number, we can actually Apple Pay if you choose to do that. If not, we'll work something out. But by all means, thank you in advance for your kindness and your generosity. All right. You know what time it is. Where's my abundance? Da-da-da-da. 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 That's actually Price is Right, but I just love that theme song. Okay, so where's my abundance? You know the rules to the game, and guess what? If you don't know it, it's all about finding your abundance. Where's your abundance? What am I grateful for? What is present, whether it's tangible or intangible? What is in my life that I'm so grateful for, that takes my mind and places it on something that shows me that my consciousness is an abundant consciousness. All right. So we're going to give you 30 seconds, 2 rounds, as always, for you to figure out what or where is your abundance located. And it can be absolutely anything. And please, by all means, because it helps everybody here, share what you find is abundant for you. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. Starting 30 seconds now. 20 seconds. Good. Could be anything in your life, anything that brings value, right? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work here. So dive in. You know, we do this every single day. And even on these days where I'm not here, you can do this all throughout the day. The reason being, it takes your focus off of what's lacking and places it on to what is present, what is abundant, what am I grateful for? And that takes you to a higher level of existence and opens a pathway for nothing but good to come into your life. All right, here we go. One more round and then we're going to wrap it up. Hit it. 30 seconds. Where's my abundance? Once again, once you find out what it is, once you know what it is, feel into it, right? Feel that gratitude, feel that joy, right? That excitement about it, and write it into the comments. Know what it is that you're grateful for. And I'm going to share what I'm grateful for here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations. Okay, before I share something, I want to let you know, although this may seem like a game that has no indication or meaning of anything, it is humongous. Why? Because it takes your mind, it takes your heart, and it focuses on your true nature, your abundant nature. So thank you for playing this game, and thank you for commenting as to where's your abundance, right? Because it's always present. It's always here. We just have to fix our perception. So what my abundance is today, my abundance is my watch, right? So that seems kind of crazy to begin with, but a watch, because 1, it looks good. 2, it alerts me of the time. It alerts me of the minute ticker when I'm doing like fitness training. It helps me to measure the seconds when somebody's doing a certain set of an exercise. So my watch is a lot of abundance because I always feel naked when I'm not wearing it. And to me, it's my abundance. So I'm very grateful for it. Yes. Where's my abundance? All righty, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along. Today's message got a great message planned for you today. Heart of Christ is bringing it to you, creating financial peace in a chaotic economy, right? Creating financial peace within a chaotic economy. And so what does that mean? What does that mean? Financial peace. Okay. So I did a podcast that you can actually listen to still on Thinking Big Coaching with Shaun. Amazing guy. And just grateful for the chance to have the outlet. And we talked about financial emotional intelligence, FEI, right? You hear a lot about emotional intelligence and all this other stuff, but financial emotional intelligence. And so this is not necessarily the ability to make a whole lot of cash, because anybody can do that, right? Anybody can do that under any circumstances once you figure out how to set yourself up, right? But it's a matter of having peace no matter where your financial standing is, right? And so why is this important? Why is this important if I build a wealth consciousness or prosperity consciousness and I'm going to be rich anyway? Well, because here's the thing. God has made it to where he gives us every option possible. It gives us every option possible to move into a place where we do not become attached to anything, let alone money. When you get attached to money, guess what? Much like when you get attached to anything, you begin to contract, right? And you lose your ability to expand and to be free and to be open because you're so worried about losing it, right? But here's the thing. Consciously, where it counts the most, when you get to that place of worry, you've already lost that money. You've already lost that money, right? Not to sound like a broken radio or anything like that, but your consciousness, the consciousness you hold, will determine whether or not you are in peace, whether or not you can hold cash, manifest cash into your life, or whether or not you'll lose it, right? But how do we ensure that regardless of what happens as we're working our way into a higher level of consciousness, how do we ensure that we don't lose our minds, especially during those times where, we get nervous and we get anxious and we don't know, we can't really feel like we can trust, and it seems like everything is against us? How do we figure that out? Financial peace is the way to figure it out. And I'm going to show you here in just a couple steps. Number one. So that webinar we're talking about just a few minutes ago, that really, I feel like if you sit down and you embrace everything that's being said, like really embrace it. And you know what you can do. What I like to do is I'd like to put on, if you watch it on YouTube, you can put on the closed caption. And I probably need to start doing this on Facebook. But you put on the closed caption and you can actually see the words run across the screen as they're coming out of my mouth. So you can hear and envision it as it's being said. And that even doubles the magnitude of which it's transferred into your subconscious mind. But the reason I divert your attention back to that is because what you read in number one right now is something so very important to any aspect or any point in time you're experiencing within your financial journey in this life. So number one says you've got to take your eyes off the physical aspect of money and place it on the spiritual substance of the divine source. So money is not a real thing, right? It's not a real thing in a sense that it is more or less a current. It is an energy. It is spiritual, divine substance, right? And here's the thing. Here's what we have to know. In order to find peace with money, we have to understand that the physical aspect of it is just an outpicturing of our conscious beliefs, our consciousness. It's just an outpicturing of that, right? So to me, when I hear that, and what you should feel when you hear that is this. Okay, if I'm not manifesting in a way that I think I should be, let me go within myself and figure out what's happening there, right? Because here's the thing. It's not about your job. It's not about how hard you work, no matter who has told you that, unless you come to believe it. It's not about your job. It's not about how hard you work. It's about your desire, first and foremost, to have it. But then it's about, more importantly, it's about how your mind works and what type of feelings you place around it. And so it's one of these things where you really need to be vigilant with how you react, because as one of my mentors, Reverend Ike, put it so clearly and precisely, money carries a psychic energy. It has to, right? It has to. It's around us. It carries a psychic energy, which means what? It can feel who is resonating at a level of abundance and who's resonating at a level of poverty, right? And it just, much like the universe, because it's all energy, it will not discriminate. Doesn't care what you do. As long as the energy is right, it'll flow. into your life, right? Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich said, money's much like that person you want to impress and you want to woo, because you have to ensure that you're giving off the right type of vibes. And isn't it amazing? When you are honestly true and authentic to yourself, it's when that money shows up the most. But what he was saying is the energy has to be right. And the energy comes from the thoughts and the feelings and the actions of those thoughts and feelings, right? So in order for us to think the right thoughts and feelings, the number one thing we have to do, take our minds off the physical stuff and place it on the source, place it on God, right? Because here's the thing. There's a thing called God consciousness, right? And if you've joined me on these episodes, you can see with God consciousness, God lacks nothing. It's impossible for God to lack nothing because the universe would fall apart. And there's an aspect, actually, you are God manifested as your individual self. But if you tap in to the God consciousness, you'll begin to think these thoughts that help you to understand that there never has been, there never will be, there never can be anything lacking unless, and I said this yesterday, unless you give mental permission. That's the only way you'll get caught up in lack. If you give mental permission to your subconscious mind to embrace lack, you're going to experience lack. But if you take your energy, you take your attention and you place it on the benevolent, abundant, unlimited, eternal spirit that is divine substance and source, right? And you begin to say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, or the Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing, right? Or you say, all that the Father has is mine. I and my Father are one. I have come so that you might have life and might have it more abundantly. And you start to run those things through your consciousness and you begin to develop a desire to really accept and embrace this on a deeper level. Guess what? It creates peace in every possible situation you could ever come in, right? No matter, because here's the thing. Your money going up and down is just transactions, right? It's just transactions. The real wealth is in you. The real wealth is in here, right? That's why with someone who is truly wealthy with the wealth consciousness, there's no there's no anxiety that comes when the money is doing this, right? Because that's what it's supposed to do. Money in, money out, money in, money out, money in, money out. It circulates. It dies if it doesn't circulate. But notice what I just said, money in, money out. So if money goes out, guess what? Naturally, it has to come back in unless you are focused on it and you're grabbing it and you mess up the flow, right? So only thing you need to grab and attach onto is the source that is every single bit of it, that operates every single bit of how it functions. Keep your eyes on that. Keep your channel open. And remember, there's a law of opposites, law of relativity, two universal laws. Money out, money in. Money out, money in. Money go, money come. Money go, money come. See, always knowing, right? And this is so important because if you can pay your bills like this, it'll change the way you pay your bills. Absolutely. In every fiber, every aspect of the word, it will change the way you offer money to people. Because guess what? Money out, money in. Money go, money come. There has to be a balance. And if there's not a balance, you got to surrender. You got to let go and you got to trust in that. And this is important, especially if you're not able to trust source just yet. Understand that everything in the law of life works by the law of rhythm. There's cycles to this, and you begin to understand it the deeper you go within your divinity, which is within yourself. But what you want to do is you want to take the physical aspect, take your eyes off the physical aspect of money and place it on the divine. If you're in the metaphysical realm, 0-point energy field, right? Spiritual substance. If you're spiritual, religious, place it on God, place it on Jesus Christ, the Christ consciousness, right? Because there, just a simple fact of placing your attention on the power that encompasses everything, it creates a level of peace. Not just that, but it creates a level of abundance, a level of safety and security you can't get from anything else around you that takes care of you, right? It's good stuff, man. Whew. Number 2, focus on the moment that holds exactly the amount of money you need and express gratitude ceaselessly. All right. So this is huge, right? Because you know what's creating our future? Right now. And right now. And right now. Now creates the future because the future is only now, right? Sounds like a mind bender, but it's true. The future is created now. So if I know that the future is created now, guess what? Where's my focus at right now? Right? What am I focused on now? As it relates to money, guess what? I can ask myself, and this is what we call a subconscious mind hack. Let's say if you're ever in a position where you're lacking or you think you're lacking, every moment you get, you stop and you say, do I have exactly everything I need and desire? Yes, I do. Say thank you. Ask the next moment again. Do I have exactly everything I need? And then you can even shift that into gratitude and say, thank you that I have every single thing I need and desire right now in this moment. And you do that moment to moment to moment. You see, the Buddhist monks knew this was the key to life because it keeps you from flying ahead and creating problems for yourself, right? So we're saying everybody gets uptight about the first of the month because the rent is due and the mortgage is due and all this other stuff. But think about it. That's 11 days away. That's almost 2 weeks. What if you committed to say, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go in the moment and I'm going to stop and I'm going to say, thank you, God in me. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, universe. I have exactly everything I need and desire in this moment. And you feel that gratitude. And guess what? You continue to do that. You don't have to do it every single moment, but if you want to, you can, if you have the time. Most of us don't have the time, but you continue to do that. The universe picks it up. It picks it up. And guess what? It continues to replicate that moment throughout your existence. So you start that now, and then you get to like the first or whenever it is, something's due. And guess what? You can say, thank you, universe. I have exactly everything I need and desire in this moment. And you begin to see that all your needs are met. And so there is something very important to notice here with this. Okay. The reason why your needs can be met instantly is because the divine has given you the power to some degree, to a large degree, control what form of essence your life possesses. Right? And it's all based on your thoughts and feelings. So if I am saying to myself, thank you that I have everything I need and desire in this moment, and I feel it and I sit with it. Each moment, I'm going to find more and more moments to say that. And before you know it, it starts to expand in abundance because you're resonating so deeply and so strongly with gratitude, right? And this is how you move from a place of lack and debt, don't like to use that word, to expansive abundance, because you're not falling victim to getting in this place of focusing on what you don't have. The moment you focus on what you don't have, right? You're living in lack, and the universe has to give you that. It has to give you what you give, what you put out. But if you go moment to moment to moment to moment, and then in the beginning, you know what? Really set up an avalanche of energy to go do it more often. And then before you know it, you find that habit and you stop and you say, thank you, that in this moment, I have exactly everything that I need and desire. Sends a ripple effect throughout the universe. Changes that, you know how we talked about the cosmic dance the universe is doing? Changes it up. All of a sudden, you were on the pathway for lack, and then you're moved a little bit on the pathway of abundance. And it just comes from how you think, how you feel, how you act, which is your consciousness. Gratitude immediately moves you into an abundant consciousness, which has to do what? Produce abundant results. Never fails, right? If it did fail, the universe will fall apart. It can't, it's impossible. It's infallible, right? So it can never fail. No matter what anybody does, it can never fail, right? What happens within you happens without. Number 3, never entertain a negative or fearful thought or feeling about money. Okay? Never entertain a fearful, negative thought or feeling about money. Okay, so this ties back in to the previous one we just did, right? And so here's the thing. Negativity, fear, lack cannot exist when gratitude is present, right? Because gratitude creates what? Peace. Gratitude creates a level of peace and security. Okay? Peace, security, and safety from a divine aspect that fear, negativity, doubt, and lack cannot exist at the same time. So I was reading an article from my spirit guide that I channel. His name is Ohaudin. And I was reading the part where the guide was telling me that you have to ask yourself in every moment, am I agreeing with fear or am I agreeing with love? Am I agreeing with abundance or am I in agreement with lack? And I thought to myself, wow, that's profound, because it just lets you know that it's one or the other. Right? So if you're always checking in, you know, if you're in agreement with abundance and love, you're on point. But if you're in agreement with fear and lack, then you got to switch it up. Right? But the truth of the matter is, if you're in agreement with abundance and love, although fear may try to creep in, the stronger the love and the abundance consciousness gets, the less power it has over you. Right? So how do you change that up? How do you transform it or transmute it in this case? Gratitude. You can't be fearful. You can't be lackful when you're in a state of gratitude for having everything you need and desire in this moment. Say it with me. I have everything I need and desire in this moment. I have everything I need and desire in this moment. I have everything I need and desire in this moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Divine Spirit. Thank you, God in me. Thank you, Supreme Infinite Intelligence, that I have exactly everything that I need and desire in this moment, and in this moment, and in this moment, and in this moment, right? Just imagine if you did that repetitively throughout the day. You really got the steam going, and then you just did it. You were out walking and you just said, thank you, God in me, that I have everything I need and desire in this moment. Thank you. My mom used to say, thank you, right? But you allow that to transform and morph your consciousness into one of plenty. And it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind, right? Because the mind, which is connected to the divine mind, the big universal creative principle, is always giving you what you give to it. And it can't help but to make you abundant, make you prosperous, if you're constantly giving it gratitude. We said it a couple weeks ago. The greatest prayer you can ever offer is thank you. Telling you. So when it comes to fearful, negative thoughts, don't entertain them. And if they do show up, start being thankful. Where's my abundance? Start being thankful. Look around, okay? In this moment, really take a moment to see, am I lacking anything? Or matter of fact, don't even ask that, because that's not a proactive question. Just say, what can I be grateful for right now? Right? What can I be grateful for at this moment? And let that go, right? Because you're setting your mind in a new direction. You've planted a seed. Now you can water the seed from there. It's pretty amazing how simple this stuff is, but how applicable it can be when we take the time to really focus. And then speaking of focus, number 4, focus on the divine peace that comes from a laser. Focus on the divine spirit of God as your source for money and everything. So what you're really doing when you do that exercise of thank you that I have exactly everything that I need and desire in this moment is you're thanking the divine spirit of God for always meeting your needs, right? And once again, God desires to give to us more than we desire to have. Shows you how strong that is. And you write the checks. You write the divine checks with gratitude. You write the divine checks with faith. That's another thing. Saying thank you that you have everything you need. That's faith in action, right? You're not focused on what's missing. It's like the whole point of that game we play. You're not focused on what's missing. You are focused on the truth, rather, that your source for everything, money included, has provided everything that you need. And nothing is out of sorts. And it all gets back to how we think, feel, and the actions, our consciousness. Take care of your consciousness first, and everything else will follow suit. Take care of your consciousness first. Focus on what's within first. Excuse me. And everything else will follow suit. And this is a universal law, because that's how we're set up, connected to the universal mind to produce the exact thing that we're out picturing. And if you keep your focus there, and if you express that gratitude, you're going to continue to supply. You're going to watch your supply just show up every moment. Thank you. I have everything I need and desire. Thank you. You want to get specific? I have all the money that I need and desire in this moment. You know what that does? All of a sudden that transforms the relationship from one of lack to one of more than enough. Because it's one thing to have your needs met, but also have your desires met. That's abundance in full form, right? Guys, do me a favor. Go back, listen to some of these things. Go back, listen to that webinar. Like really soak this in, because I'm telling you, pandemic, plandemic, epidemic, whatever it is, it does not have to stop you from prospering in a way that you can be happy and at peace, in financial peace, as much as you desire to be, right? Because it's not contingent upon the government. It's not contingent upon what the mayor's doing. It's not contingent upon what the White House is doing. It's contingent upon your consciousness, upon your thinking, upon your feeling, upon your actions. That's what your life is contingent upon. Believe that truth, have faith in that truth, and never look back. And I promise you, while everything around you is falling apart, much like Psalm 23 says, 91, Psalm 91, 10,000 at my right hand and 1,000 at my left, or something like that. But anyway, all it's saying is that when everything is falling apart around you, you will be sustained. And you will be not only upheld, but uplifted, because you are in, as Christian Larson says, the heights, which is the spiritual heights, the mind power, the heart power to move things in a favor that equates to ever-present abundance for yourself. Easy peasy, man. You just got to apply it. Start with gratitude, and you will have all the peace that you could ever desire. And you'll have a lot of abundance flowing into your life because you're affirming it, right? You're affirming it, and you're affirming it with feeling and conviction because of the gratitude. Gratitude just makes you feel all bubbly inside. That's what's important. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up today's message. And thank you for joining us. If you have a comment you'd like to say about the ministry, about today's message, you might have a question about today's message. I'm thinking about all this stuff I didn't even really take into account, but you may have a question about today's message that you need clarification on. Send your boy an email at ShaunG04@gmail.com. And look, if you need prayer, I'm here for prayer. This isn't one trick pony ministry. It's not your conventional, traditional ministry. It is one geared towards serving, helping, encouraging, empowering, uplifting people to be their authentic selves, which leads to them living their very best life. That's our mission, right? So write to us, ShaunG04@gmail.com. All right. And now, sow a seed. If you feel this content has benefited you in an amazing capacity, if you feel like this content has given you the opportunity to become everything I just said, empowered, inspired, encouraged, uplifted, to be your authentic self, by all means, sow a seed. Sow a seed today and pray over that seed, or bless that seed. I will do the same, that seed may expand in your life. And remember, the seed you sow never leaves your life. It always comes back. What do we say? Money out, money in, money out, money in, money go, money come. It's law of rhythm. It's supposed to operate that way. So don't get nervous if you feel led and drawn to give and thinking the only way it won't come back is if you mentally decide, oh, it ain't coming back. No, by law, money goes out, money comes in, right? Man, so simple. But sometimes, you just need reiteration. So if you decide to do that, if you decide to sow a seed today, guys, I thank you in advance. Thank you for your kindness and generosity. Off top, I will bless your seed. And then you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm always on here talking about sow a seed, sow a seed. I desire to sow a seed into the life of someone in this ministry. Why? Because it's important to take care of the people as you're asking them to take care of you, right? So what I'm going to do, let me think about this. What I'm going to do, because I want to encourage people to give. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give from my own heart to someone out there. I got to figure out some type of contest. And I'm telling you, it will be US dollars that I'll be giving. Definitely make it worth your while. I don't know how much it will be, but we'll make it worth your while. And it's just a matter of inspiring people to give, because guess what? The pandemic or any type of crisis has a way of stopping people from wanting to give because they're afraid. But when you understand how the law works, how all the universal laws work, you really begin to see that they're set up to help you succeed. They're set up to help you to win and win big. And the only way we disrupt the law is when we disrupt the law by thought, right? If our thoughts are on point, the law has to work. And what law am I talking about? Money out, money in, money go, money come, right? Sow a seed, multiplied. It's the universe. It's mathematics. And with mathematics, right, unless you're absolutely nuts, 2 + 2 can't equal 6, right? It doesn't work like that. You take 2 apples and put 2 apples together, you have 4. That's how the universe works as it relates to money, as it relates to you. It's all very mathematical unless we decide to be crazy, which illusion, lack, doubt, fear, it's all eccentric. It's all nuts. All right. The only way the law can be disrupted is if we decide to be eccentric and go off the cusp and experience those things, because that's not natural. It's not natural. What's natural is abundance. What's natural is faith. What's natural is love. What's natural is the joy that comes from you living the life that you choose. So thank you in advance once again for that seed, your kindness, generosity. Guys, it is Friday. And I am signing off. You have been terrific. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I'm sure I'll be back here tomorrow. I may be back. Well, maybe not later today, but if you get a chance, make time. Go watch that webinar, because I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. And rewatch this webinar, because this is going to change your life. And watch every message, because it's going to change your life, because it's changing my life even as I'm doing it. So thank you for that. You are greatly appreciated. May the presence of God in me bless, honor, uplift, and raise you up in me. Wait, what was I going to say? Okay, yeah. May the presence of God in me bless, honor, and lift you up, right? As the presence of, how do I say it? May the presence of God in me bless and honor the presence of God in you and lift you up and all that other good stuff. That's what I was trying to say. All right. You got it. Have a good day, guys. Take care.